Hey, welcome in everyone to the Hoops Frenzy podcast. I'm Dean Holzwarth, along with my good friend Andy McDonald. Took a little week off last week, but we're back, and so much has happened in the last 2 weeks.
For sure.
We had lots of snow days. We had lots of cancellations. We had lots of moving of games. It's been a lot lately.
I owe him. He won the argument. There was a couple of games at least that Friday night.
Oh, yes.
For when it was going to be cold.
Yeah, so the cold day that we talked about 2 weeks ago.
I was more wrong on that. It was very interesting, though, because both schools I went to, the ADs or superintendents or whatever they were, came up to me and were like, "Are we the only game in the area tonight?" Like, kind of nervous
because we played that night.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I covered you guys. Yeah. And they were kind of, it felt like they were kind of like, should we be doing this or shouldn't we be doing this? But yeah, either way, it did happen. So
yes. And then obviously, like I said, there was just lots of cancellations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We talk about the OK Red a lot, but it's so deserving.
Yeah,
Andy,
for sure,
because of the games that have kind of transpired.
Such good basketball in this area this year right now in the OK Red. It's ridiculous.
Yes, and we're going to get to one right now from last night. Andy was there for Rockford East Kentwood, right?
I wasn't at that game.
You were not that game.
No. We had another one of our reporters. I think it might have been Amir.
Okay, Amir was there. So Rockford East Kentwood Part 2. This time, we all remember how East Kentwood, C.J. Reynolds, beat Rockford on a buzzer beater at Rockford, and Rockford returned the favor last night. So this was last night's game, a block at the end by Rockford, and then the layup at the buzzer by freshman Jace.
It's Okapu Agaman, I believe.
Yes.
I'm sorry for saying that incorrectly, but trying our best here. So.
Yes, we apologize for the pronunciation of his name, however. But just another great game. It's funny, when I look at the play, East Kentwood had time to just take the last shot. What a great block by the Rockford kid, right? But, they just waited too long. And then, obviously, it was just a great game back and forth, right? Which is kind of what you expect from two of the top teams in the state, in my opinion.
For sure.
Now, right?
Absolutely.
Especially the area. And just Eli Wolf right here.
Yeah, great pass by him because everybody's thinking he's going to take the shot. I mean, he's the kid that has the moves around the rim and he can get to the rim. He's been that guy kind of for them all year when they need a bucket. He can go and get it. And to give it up at that point of the game and give it to somebody else, a freshman, nevertheless,
100%.
To make that bucket, that says a lot about who Eli is as a player. So that was cool.
Yep. If you saw, obviously we see the way East Kentwood reacted when they won.
That was the first
time.
The
Rockford coaches reacted kind of the same way. Maybe not.
100%.
Maybe it's not.
I mean, there is a rivalry there now. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like it's weird in sports sometimes because it's never like. I mean, I don't think these schools have particularly loved each other in the past, but
right.
I feel like it's one of those things where like just this year, like oh my gosh, if they somehow find a way to meet again at any point, I mean, you're talking about one of the most epic high school games in a long time when it comes to boys basketball, just because of what happened and how good both teams are and where they rank in the state and everything else. Like I can only hope as somebody who covers these kind of games to get that opportunity again.
And to do it on each other's floor, I think was even more impressive.
It's insane. Yeah, the fact that it was both in the road.
You get two buzzer beaters like like you said in this rivalry that's kind of become this year.
Epic. I mean, that's a great shot too.
Oh my gosh!
Through good defense.
Defense came.
Neither bucket was easy for either game winner.
Oh, no.
So it's just it's awesome to see this kind of like drama and basketball between the two teams. So I'm excited to see if it does happen again. But nevertheless, they both got the best of each other on their own floor, and that's cool. So.
Yep. And we see the OK Red be really, really wild in the past 2 weeks. We're going to stay with East Kentwood here, and we're going to play a little foul or not foul here. This was last Friday. This was Granville and East Kentwood. Granville led, I think, by 10 or 12 at the half. Kentwood comes back. So Granville is down 2 here in the closing seconds. Carter Wade's at the free throw line here. He misses on purpose, which was a great miss.
Yeah,
Gets out to Brendan Vanderhart, shoots. Is that a foul, Andy?
Yeah, I mean,
is that a foul?
Gosh, I mean, it looks like it. I mean, it's hard to say like when he shot it is a foul. I mean, after it's definitely a foul.
So it's a little awkward. Like he kind of turns a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
When he lands, East Kentwood kid land, he does bump him. He does make contact with him. What bothers me, and trust me, there's some awesome West Michigan officials out there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know I coach at the lower levels, but I've seen some good officials. However, you can't really see it from this angle that they're showing right now. However, the ref that was right there by the ball, right here, he's gonna the ball goes up, he's watching the ball. Okay, he doesn't even look at after the shot.
Yeah,
all the stuff that was going on
yeah.
there. He's watching the ball, and my thing is, you got to make you guys. Those other two guys have to be seeing something.
I mean, yeah, someone has to be watching that. Are you kidding me? I mean, he has the ball at the end of the play. Somebody should have their eyes on it for the rest of the play. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes.
If you think Brendan jumped into him, he has a guy coming at him. You know, like what? He's kind of like protecting himself, right? Because he sees the guy coming at him. Like right here, he's coming at him, and then he bumps him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in his mind, he probably is trying to draw the foul, but nevertheless, I think you have to, like, if you're a defender and you're going to jump and block at that point, every time you're going up against a three-pointer, you're probably not supposed to jump into the
100%.
player at all. You want to stay straight up, if anything, when you're like putting your hand up just to, try to. I mean, these are young kids; these are all learning moments for them. But obviously, they didn't have to pay for it because there wasn't a call against them or anything like that. But yeah, that's one of those tricky ones. I mean, I understand like your point. I understand where you're coming from 100%. There's a lot of contact there. Mm-hmm. I am more of a fan in these kind of games where they don't make they kind of let the players decide at the end of the game. But I do think. It's so hard to tell in real time if that was before the shot or after the shot. I think it was more after the shot, so I'm actually more in the party of I don't think it needed to be called necessarily in that moment. Okay. I do think that they should have maybe made the call afterwards, and it would have been a non-shooting foul. But if they were in the bonus, then they would have shot free throws. So I guess that 100%. Depends on where that's at in that moment. Because I do think it was definitely after the shot, in my opinion. But that's just
I definitely think Grambling should have got a chance to tie that game or win that game or whatever the case may be.
They've had some. I covered them on Saturday at the tournament at GRCC.
Yeah,
there were some pretty good basketball games over there. I can't remember what the name of that one is. It was at Aquinas last year.
Is that the 2K something?
Yeah. That's the one that they do over there. Yep. Yeah. And I got to cover Granville there, and they had a pretty tough matchup against Detroit Catholic Central. That was a tough loss to them. And last night I covered them against West Ottawa, who is a very talented team, but is somehow only 8-8 in the year. They got the win over them last night and kind of blew them out. West Ottawa did. So
well, let me tell you why that happened. And obviously, I'm close with Granville and their coaches and stuff like that. But so imagine this. That was their 5th game last night in 7 days.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, because all the snow days, cancellations, right? So they played last Wednesday against Rockford, lost. Mm-hmm. Played Kentwood on Friday, lost. Played Detroit Catholic Central, lost. Monday, played Hudsonville.
Yeah.
And Daniel scored 30 against them. And then last night, so 5 games in 7 days. And Granville doesn't have a very deep bench. Okay, they probably play 7-8 guys. That's going to wear out.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You play that many. And I'm not making excuses for Granville and their little losing streak.
Yeah.
Obviously, other teams in the area have had to kind of go through the same kind of thing, so I'm not doing that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a deep bench and you're playing guys lots of minutes, that can get overwhelming and just wear a team out.
Oh, 100%. I couldn't agree with that more. It's tough to play. I mean, even in college, they don't do that very often when they play games. That you find it very rare they play even 2 games in a 3-day span or something like that until it gets to the NCAA tournament, and that's when it gets to that point. But I mean, it's it definitely is a tough break for them. I think Hudsonville was another team that I got to go watch last night, and they got a win against Grand Haven. It was a very good team as well.
Yep.
And they were able to get the win. And I've watched Hudsonville in the past few weeks have a couple of tough losses in close games where they were battling towards the end but weren't able to get the win, and now they win back-to-back huge games. So it's awesome in that conference right now because it's just so many good
anybody
teams.
Can beat anybody
any game. You seriously don't.
Shown.
Yeah, you don't know who's going to win every time they take the floor. And I can't tell you many times that I have covered high school sports at any sport. It doesn't really matter what it is, where you don't relatively know what's going to happen. I mean, like sometimes like it's going to be a toss up or whatever going in because both teams are really good.
Yeah,
but you usually only get a couple of those a year. I mean, I know we've said that in football it's been a little bit better in recent years, that kind of stuff. But man, what's going on in basketball right now is special. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's fun to go out every night. Obviously, you're able to cover. I'm coaching games, but you see more than I do. But yeah, just some tremendous matchups this season. We can't forget about the Catholic Central that's been playing well.
Yeah, man, I got to cover them on Saturday too.
Did Northview have a good win, or did Catholic Central beat Northview?
Catholic Central didn't play Northview in that tournament.
Okay.
Northview played later that night, and I'm trying to remember who they played against, but they did lose by 2.
Okay. That was a good game.
I think it was Rockford.
Oh, yeah.
It was Rockford Northview. Yeah, Rockford got that win at the end, too. So Rockford all of a sudden has had a couple of big wins after having a couple of tough losses by a point.
Yes.
Northview's another team that just they're uber talented. Like they have talent all up and down that roster, highlighted by Cam Ryans. But yeah, no, Catholic Central, they played in front of me the other day, and wow.
They've improved a lot.
I wasn't super familiar with the team that they were playing against. I think it was a team kind of going towards the east side of the state. Yeah. But they looked like they had some talent on that team and had a lot of size. I think a lot of the players were actually bigger than some of Catholic Central's players, but wow. I mean, Catholic Central was up 40-13, and it wasn't even the end of the first half. Like, they can run the floor and they get it going. They can play at a different level. They have a starting five that is very impressive, including a freshman forward that can just shoot the lights out from 3-point every time I've covered him so far this year. Yeah. Forgive me for not remembering his name right now. But yeah, they looked very impressive to me, and I've been kind of wondering all year if they were going to get to that level this year because head coach Chris Pearl obviously got him to the state championship last year and everything else, and they've been able to stay good even after losing TJ Merriman there. I was more than impressed from what I saw from Catholic Central, and I think that they're a team you're going to have to watch for going to the Breslin again.
Yep. Finally, some boys' notes. Union Christian's been playing well, obviously, still South Christian. In Greenville, 15-1 right now.
Yeah, that's impressive too, man.
Yeah, we talked about Greenville a little
Greenville
bit.
is just, we said they've been building their program up, and they've seemed to get it to the point now where basketball is just kind of becoming one of their bigger sports there because they've been finding a way to win with the talent pool they've had recently. That's for sure.
Yep. One last thing. Tri-Unity Christian also had a buzzer beater last Wednesday, so I wasn't here because we played Lee. Yeah. Junior Jake Van Klappenberg, who I've coached the last couple years at the JV level, driving layup right at the buzzer. Kids mobbed him, and that was a game that obviously conference title hopes for us at least because Lee was kind of right there with us along with Potter's House, so that was a really big win. But yeah, that was very exciting too. So a lot of buzzer beaters.
Yeah, it's insane for sure. And then one other topic, I think we're good on boys basketball, probably than we talked about. Yes. But I just want to get your take on this before you say you have a couple. You have a couple comments on the girls. Actually, you want to give?
Oh, you want to end with what you're going to say?
Yes, I do. Kind of. I think it's a good one to end on.
Well, last night South Christian remained undefeated. The girls side beating West Catholic, so they're now 14-0.
That was at West Catholic too.
It was.
So it's a good win for South Christian.
And South Christian is looking really good right now. A sleeper, undefeated Covenant Christian girls.
Yeah, no, for sure. They had a huge game last night too.
Playing very well. They improved to 13 or 14-0 right now too. Yeah. So they're doing that program's been heading in the right direction for a while. And
absolutely. No, yeah. Those are the two games I think we picked to cover last night. Okay. So there definitely were some big matchups, and that's really I would say West Catholic girls basketball, probably if you could count it on your hand, they would have less than 5 losses probably at home in the last 5 years. So that's an impressive win for South Christian. But yeah, the topic I was going to bring up involves both boys and girls. Basketball is just NIL. What's your what's your take on the whole thing? I know that it's a huge. We have to talk about it. I mean, it's here and it's been out. We wanted to last week, but didn't have time for it on the normal podcast. I think this is the more appropriate time to talk about it. So.
I mean, for me, like, I don't think it's going to change the game as much as maybe people think it's going to, right? Like, it's going to be, I think, centralized to certain players, right, who are able to kind of benefit from like either their like social media followers or whatever the case may be. I feel like now like companies can pay players to do some advertising, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
These high school kids now can like run their own camps, all right, charge a whatever fee I guess they want. They can sign autographs for money now, which I don't know my thoughts about that necessarily, right? But no, like Mark,
crazy,
like Mark Yold said from the MSSAA, Michigan's now the 47th state to kind of put NIL.
We're one of the last, there's a lot of other states that did it.
So it's not like we're like these trailblazers and we're one of the first ones to do it. It's been going on throughout the states.
I don't think people realize that.
I don't think they realize that either. Yeah. They just wanted to follow suit, right? I think some people think it might be like divide teams, but it can't be like this collective effort, right?
Yeah.
It can't be like a Hudsonville booster, like giving $10,000 to the program and paying these kids and stuff like that, right? It's nothing like that. So I think we'll really find out exactly, if it hurts teams, if it hurts this, the state. I don't know. It remains to be seen exactly how things will play out. What's your take?
No, I mean, this guy's got a lot of years of covering high school basketball experience, so I would take what he says for sure. But I do think that it definitely is interesting. I think, you do have to go, if I'm correct, I believe you have to go to the MHSAA before like with your deal or whatever you're going to sign, even if it is with even if it is with like a local, I mean, I think it opens up opportunities for kids, which is kind of cool because even the kid who's like not a starter, say it's like the, one of the bench warmers of the football team or the second string kicker or whatever it is, if they get popular because of something they do on TikTok, even on whatever, all of a sudden they can get paid for that. And that's kind of a cool opportunity because instead of being, you know, the kid that never got any attention, no matter what. Like, you have a cool story and a way to make money, even if you're not doing it for your play on the field. Yeah. It's insane to talk about at this level. To me, I'll say that. I really don't necessarily agree with anybody in the country doing this. I don't really think it ever should have been a thing. I think that you kind of earn your. I agree with the college level, just because of the fact that I think that those kids should make money at that time. Yeah,
in college.
They do. Well, yeah, for some schools, but it's just like those kids give up all their time completely. I mean, in high school, yes, you give up a lot of time, but it's not like. I mean, you still have some free time for your life. It's a little different than college sports. And you're not expected to be an adult at that level. It's kind of wild to just think about how much more pressure it can put on these kids at that level. And I just think it's a crazy concept. And again, like you said, it remains to be seen, like, how it'll come out and how much money one kid will make compared to another kid. And it's just there's definitely going to be problems that are created from it. I don't think there's a question about that. I do think, though, I agree with you in the fact that I don't think it's going to change the sports as much as people think when it comes to the high school level, because I don't think it did in college as much as people think it did either. Like, I mean, everybody's still watching these games on Saturdays. Like, yes, it makes a huge difference with how much people transfer and everything else, but like, kind of like what Dusty May has said recently with some of the comments that have made about the people who come to Michigan, you still have to recruit some of these players to come there and like choose you, because there's other schools, you know, in the area they're going to pay money. I mean, like, for you to go there, right? I don't think it's going to, at this level, if it truly sticks to just a name and likeness thing, and like they just make money off of local businesses or whatever, whoever decides to pay them money, that's not going to change how these kids play in the court, because at the end of the day, they still want to go to the next level and play somewhere else.
Right. So. It's more like a branding thing.
Yeah,
right? That's
for sure.
It's just
a scary title, I think, for a lot of people to be like, wow, what the heck's going on right now?
Right. But like you said, I think, Mark, you brought up an example of a kid who's like very musically talented, right?
Sure,
he wants to sell his music, or he's popular on TikTok, and so he's now able to do that and generate some money for himself because of his abilities of that, even though he's playing a sport.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I mean, that's like, it's people don't realize, like, I know sometimes it might be dumb to some people what people do on that platform, but like, it takes a lot of work usually to get that popular and get that many followers and to get people to do that kind of stuff for you. So if they can do it, more power to them.
Yep, definitely. Well, hey, thanks for bringing up that topic.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
So we have 2.5 more weeks left of the boys season. We have
Crazy.
3.5 more weeks of the girls season before we get into March Madness. I've always said January is my least favorite month of the year. It's long, it's cold, it's icy. Basketball's the only good thing. Then you get to February, it's short. All right, then March is coming, March Madness. Temperatures are going to get warmer. So I'm excited that February's here and looking forward to March.
Absolutely. We're almost there.
Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week.